Have you ever felt the weight of 1,000 eyes judging you, doubting your dreams, questioning your potential? Every word of doubt thrown at you is like a stone, but what if I told you that every stone can be turned into a stepping stone? Today, I'm here to tell you, the opinions of others do not define your destiny. What defines you is the strength of your spirit, the clarity of your purpose, and the courage to rise when everyone else expects you to fall. Ignore the doubters. Prove yourself, not for them, but for the unstoppable force that is inside of you. Every day, we are bombarded with voices, some gentle, some loud, some critical, that try to tell us who we are, what we can achieve, and what we are not capable of. From the moment we wake up, the world seems to have 1,000 opinions about our life, our choices, and our potential. Friends, colleagues, strangers, even our own inner critic, they all have something to say. And too often we listen. We let these voices weigh us down, cloud our judgment, and limit the fire that burns inside us. But here is the truth, the unshakable truth. The power within you, the divine spark, the energy that created you is far greater than any opinion, doubt, or judgment anyone could ever cast upon you. Think about it. The same energy that makes the sun rise every morning, that paints the sky in colors we can barely comprehend, that causes a tiny seed to break through the soil and grow into a mighty tree. It flows through you. That is not a metaphor. That is reality. And yet, how often do we trade that limitless energy for the small, fleeting thoughts of people who cannot see our vision, people who cannot feel the passion burning in our hearts, people who are too afraid or too small-minded to dream as we do? We listen to the doubters and suddenly our potential seems less. But let me tell you something. Their words have no power over you unless you hand it to them. Your potential does not ask for permission. Your greatness does not negotiate with anyone. Let's take an everyday example. Imagine a young woman working tirelessly to start her own business, pouring hours into learning, creating, building, but everyone around her shakes their heads. It's too risky, they say. You're not ready. Maybe you should just stick to what you know. Every time she hears this, it chips at her confidence, momentarily slowing her down. But then she remembers the fire inside her, the vision she has nurtured, the late nights and sacrifices she has made. She remembers that no one can create what she was born to create. She reminds herself that the energy within her is far more powerful than the doubts of others. And she continues. Step by step, action by action, she proves to herself, not to them, that greatness cannot be denied. That's the power of understanding your own worth, the ability to rise above the noise, to stay committed to your purpose, to trust that the universe has equipped you for this journey. Or consider a young athlete practicing long hours on the court while peers go out and enjoy life. Coaches say he lacks talent. Teammates joke about his slow progress. Friends tell him it's foolish to dream of going professional. But inside him is something stronger than any criticism, a vision of himself standing at the pinnacle of success, the satisfaction of proving his inner strength, the pride of honoring the effort and time he has invested. Every drop of sweat becomes a declaration. I am stronger than your doubts. I am more capable than your judgments. I am unstoppable because the power that drives me comes from a source that no one can take away. And when the day comes that he scores the winning point, when he achieves what everyone said he couldn't, it's not revenge, it's affirmation. Proof that the strength within always triumphs over external doubt. Even in the simplest moments of daily life, this principle is at work. A student studying late at night while others party, a parent working multiple jobs to provide for their family, an artist creating in silence while the world questions their career choice. They all rely on this same truth. The power within is greater than the opinions surrounding them. It's a quiet but profound understanding. What matters is not who applauds or criticizes, but whether you honor the gift that is inside you. The doubters will always exist. They are part of life, but they are irrelevant to the one who recognizes their own inner strength. Your energy, your purpose, your vision, these are not borrowed, they are inherited from the divine order of the universe. To ignore this truth is to live small, to dim your light to make others comfortable. But to embrace it is to step into freedom, to walk with confidence, and to create a life that no one else can define. And here's the ultimate power of this truth. When you finally live it, when you finally understand that the opinions of others are shadows that cannot touch your life becomes magnetic. People are drawn to your confidence, your determination, your unstoppable energy. You no longer react to doubt. You rise above it. You no longer question your worth. You act in alignment with your destiny. You no longer allow fear to govern your decisions. You let the divine strength within guide you. Every day becomes an opportunity to prove not to the world, but to yourself that you are far greater than anyone's expectations or limitations. So, the next time someone tries to tell you that you cannot, that you are not enough, that your dreams are too big, remember this: their words are whispers. Your power is a storm. Their doubt is a shadow. Your light is a sun. And the energy inside you, the divine, unstoppable force, has no equal. It is time to stop shrinking to fit their vision of you and start growing into the masterpiece you were always meant to be. Every step, every effort, every small act of courage is proof the power within you is greater than their opinions. Every time you feel the sting of doubt from others or even from within yourself, it's easy to think it is a signal to stop, a warning that you're not ready, or that your dreams are too big. But what if I told you that doubt is not a curse? What if I told you that doubt is actually a sign, a divine signal, that you are moving in the exact direction you are meant to go? The very fact that your vision challenges the ordinary, unsettles the familiar, and excites the impossible is why doubt exists in the first place. It is proof that you are stepping into uncharted territory, a place where growth, greatness, and transformation lie. Think about it: every innovator, every trailblazer, every person who has ever achieved something extraordinary faced doubt, relentless, persistent, and sometimes cruel doubt. Thomas Edison was told his ideas were impractical. Every failed experiment seemed like evidence he should give up. Yet he understood something crucial: doubt was not an enemy. It was a sign that he was reaching beyond mediocrity. Every skeptic, every naysayer, every voice of disbelief was simply highlighting the boundaries he was breaking. The more doubt you encounter, the closer you are to breaking through your own limitations and discovering the greatness that awaits. In daily life, doubt manifests in smaller but equally powerful ways. Imagine a young person preparing for a career that others deem too competitive or impossible to succeed in. Friends say, maybe you should pick something safe, while family sighs, worried for the risks involved. That knot of worry in your stomach, the flicker of uncertainty in your mind, the whispers of fear, these are not signs that you should stop. These are signs that you are walking a path worth walking, a path that will challenge you, test you, and ultimately shape you into someone stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. Doubt appears precisely when you are on the threshold of something transformative. Consider a writer pouring words into pages, facing rejection after rejection, being told no one will read this. You're not talented enough. It is natural for doubt to creep in. The voice of disbelief is loud, persistent, and exhausting. Yet every time doubt appears, it is a reminder that the work you are doing is powerful enough to provoke resistance. Anything ordinary is accepted without question. It is the extraordinary that stirs doubt, discomfort, and skepticism. Every rejection, every critical comment, every glance of disbelief is a confirmation that your vision challenges the ordinary, and that is where impact is born. Even in the small, everyday choices, doubt is a guide. When you decide to start a fitness journey, to learn a new skill, to create a business, to build meaningful relationships, doubt is always present. Your mind asks, can I really do this? Your friends may say, that won't work. Your past failures whisper in your ear. But this doubt is actually an invitation. It is a divine challenge, urging you to step forward with courage, consistency, and faith. Doubt shows that your actions matter, that your decisions are pushing you beyond comfort, and that the life you are building is bigger than the limits others try to impose on you. Think about the moments when you felt most alive. Times when you challenged yourself, took a risk, or spoke up for your vision. Chances are doubt was there. You felt the fear, the uncertainty, and the tension of the unknown. And yet, because you persisted, because you chose to move forward despite the doubt you grew, you discovered abilities, strengths, and resilience you didn't know existed. Doubt is a universal signal. It appears not to stop you, but to announce that something significant is unfolding. It is a test not of whether you are worthy, but of whether you are ready to rise into your own power. Doubt also has a secret ally, your intuition. When you feel doubt externally, when the world questions your choices, your inner voice often knows the truth. You are on the right path. It is the tension between doubt and courage that fuels growth. Every time you face doubt and choose action, you are training your spirit to recognize that external opinions are temporary, but your potential is eternal. Your path may be difficult, full of resistance and challenge, but the very existence of doubt is a reminder that you are stepping into a life that matters. And here is the most empowering part. Those who doubt you are not the architects of your life. They are spectators. Your job is not to convince them, but to move forward with unwavering faith in your own journey. The more doubt you encounter, the more evidence that your vision is powerful, meaningful, and transformative. Do not shy away from it. Do not silence it. Let it fuel you. Let it sharpen your focus, deepen your resilience, and awaken the untapped energy that exists within you. Doubt is a sign not of weakness, but of greatness in waiting. So, the next time doubt arises, whether from within or from the voices around you, look at it as a marker, a signal, and a guidepost. Thank it for showing you that you are pushing boundaries. Thank it for confirming that your path is bold, courageous, and impactful. And most importantly, use it to fuel your determination, to strengthen your commitment, and to ignite the fire of your potential. The very doubt that others think will stop you is actually the divine compass pointing you straight toward your destiny. When you embrace doubt, when you move forward anyway, you discover the incredible truth, the challenges, the skepticism, and the hesitation all mean one thing. You are exactly where you need to be, doing exactly what you were meant to do. It is easy to talk. It is easy to dream, to plan, to make promises, to declare what we want to do, or to tell the world about the life we envision for ourselves. But words alone are empty without action. Words can inspire for a moment, but they cannot create change. They cannot build empires, heal hearts, or transform a life. Action is the language of the spirit, the proof of intention, and the bridge between possibility and reality. Your actions speak louder than any words, louder than any doubt, louder than any expectation or judgment that others place upon you. And when you begin to act consistently and boldly, the world begins to take notice. Not because you said it, because you showed it. Think about a young entrepreneur who constantly talks about the business they are going to start. Every conversation is filled with ideas, plans, and dreams, but nothing is launched, nothing is created. Friends admire the vision, but the world does not change. Then there is the one who quietly works in the early hours, dedicating nights to learning, creating, and testing ideas. Every small step, every task completed, every risk taken becomes evidence of commitment. The result is not just a business, it is a statement. It is proof that vision becomes reality only when paired with persistent action. People will doubt your words, but they cannot ignore your results. Even in the everyday moments of life, this principle holds true. Consider a student who claims they want to excel academically. Talking about studying, explaining strategies, sharing plans. These are all fine, but the transformation occurs when the student sits at the desk, chooses discipline over distraction, and puts in the hours to understand, memorize, and apply. The world will notice the grades, the progress, and the mastery long before it pays attention to the words. Action is the ultimate validation of intention, the concrete proof that a person is serious about their life, their growth, and their purpose. Or think about relationships, whether at work, in families, or among friends. Anyone can claim loyalty, love, or commitment, but without action, those claims are hollow. Showing up, listening deeply, offering support, forgiving, and being present, these are actions that speak louder than declarations of affection. When someone consistently demonstrates care through behavior, it leaves an impact that words alone could never achieve. Your actions are a reflection of your heart, your priorities, and your character. And when aligned with your vision, they carry the power to inspire, influence, and create transformation in yourself and others. Even more powerful are examples from the world of sports and achievement. Consider an athlete who declares they are going to win a championship. That alone, a championship, but not secure victory. The hours of practice, the sacrifices made, the discipline to wake early, to train when no one is watching. These are the actions that define success. Every repetition, every drill, every moment of sweat becomes evidence of commitment. When the athlete finally steps onto the field, the championship is not a surprise. It is the inevitable result of consistent, focused action. Words can hype a dream, but actions bring it to life. In life, we often fall into the trap of thinking that talking about change or dreaming big is enough. But real transformation requires movement. Every small act counts. Every effort matters. Choosing to get out of bed early, deciding to practice, investing in yourself, completing the task others avoid. These are actions that build momentum. They are proof that your energy is not wasted on empty words. And over time, these actions compound, producing results that cannot be ignored. Ignored not because they are loud, but because they are visible, tangible, and undeniable. Action also carries the power to silence doubt. The doubters, the skeptics, the critics, they cannot deny what they see. They may mock your dreams when you talk, but when they witness consistent effort and visible progress, they are forced to acknowledge reality. Actions do not argue, they demonstrate. Actions are proof that your purpose is real, that your potential is authentic, and that your vision cannot be stopped. The person who acts consistently with focus and integrity eventually becomes unstoppable, not because of luck, connections, or approval, because action builds mastery, confidence, and results that speak for themselves. Even in the smallest daily decisions, this principle is at work. Waking up to work on a goal, showing kindness without expecting recognition, solving problems instead of complaining, continuing to pursue excellence even when no one is watching. These actions silently declare, I am committed. I am capable. I will not be defined by words alone. Over time, these actions create momentum that no doubt or criticism can halt. They become proof of your strength, your resilience, and your unstoppable drive. Ultimately, the measure of a life is not in promises made or dreams spoken. It is in actions taken. Every action, no matter how small, is a statement of intent, a declaration of your belief in yourself, and a manifestation of the divine energy within you. Words can inspire momentarily, but actions create lasting impact. When you align your energy, your focus, and your courage with consistent, deliberate action, you are proving to yourself and to the world that your life is not defined by doubt or judgment, but by the unstoppable force of what you do. So stop waiting for the perfect moment to declare your greatness. Stop relying on words to convince others or yourself. Begin acting. Begin building. Begin showing the world and yourself that your life is a masterpiece in motion. Every step forward, every effort made, every consistent action is louder than any doubt, any criticism, and any expectation. Your actions are your proof, your legacy, and your most powerful statement. Speak through what you do, not what you say, and you will inspire, transform, and conquer in ways words alone could never achieve. Fear of failure is one of the most cunning enemies we face. It sits quietly in the corner of our minds, whispering doubts, exaggerating risk, and convincing us that playing safe is the only way to survive. It appears as hesitation, as procrastination, as 1,000 reasons not to try. And yet in reality, fear of failure is a foolish guest. It has no real power over you unless you allow it to stay to control and to dictate your path. The truth is, failure is not the opposite of success. It is an essential part of the journey toward it. Every setback, every mistake, every stumble is a teacher, a guide, and a stepping stone toward your greatness. Look at life around you. Every successful person you admire has stared fear in the face countless times. They felt it, they wrestled with it, and yet they refused to let it dictate their actions. Thomas Edison, for example, faced thousands of failed experiments while inventing the light bulb. He did not let the fear of failure stop him. He treated each failure as a discovery, a step closer to illumination. The difference between those who succeed and those who never try is not luck or genius. It is courage. Courage to move forward despite fear. Courage to embrace mistakes. And courage to trust that every failure carries the seeds of future success. Even in daily life, fear of failure manifests in ways we often overlook. A student hesitates to answer a question in class, worried they might be wrong. A young professional avoids taking on a challenging project, afraid of not meeting expectations. An artist holds back from sharing their work, terrified of criticism. Fear creeps in, whispering that avoiding risk is safer than attempting greatness. But every time we let fear win, we trade potential for comfort. We deny ourselves the opportunity to grow, to learn, and to shine. The moment we choose action over fear is the moment we reclaim our power, our destiny, and our purpose. Consider an aspiring entrepreneur who dreams of starting a business but hesitates because of the risk of failure. Friends and family warn them of financial ruin, of embarrassment, of the possibility that it might not work. Fear whispers that staying in a steady job is safer, but the universe rewards those who act. The person who takes the leap, who plans carefully, who works tirelessly despite the fear, discovers that even if setbacks occur, each challenge provides invaluable lessons. Every mistake becomes experience. Every obstacle builds resilience, and every risk strengthens character. Fear of failure only becomes a trap if we listen to it. When we treat it as a guest but refuse to host it permanently, it transforms into a teacher. Fear of failure also hides behind perfectionism. We delay action, waiting for the perfect plan, the perfect skill set. Yet life rarely presents perfection. Waiting for it ensures that dreams stay just that, dreams. Every day spent waiting is an opportunity lost. Every day delayed is momentum wasted. Real power comes from action, from imperfect but persistent effort. The courage to act despite fear, to take the first step even when the outcome is uncertain, is the hallmark of those who eventually rise above the doubters and achieve greatness. Even in personal growth, fear of failure tries to keep us small. We avoid challenges, avoid speaking up, avoid stepping outside our comfort zone because we fear rejection, criticism, or embarrassment. But every time we push past this fear, we expand the limits of who we are. A young person who speaks their truth, even when others doubt or mock them, inspires courage in others. A professional who takes on a bold project, even when uncertainty looms, sets a standard of resilience. A parent teaching their child to dream big, even when the world says it is impossible, passes on a legacy of courage. Every act against the fear of failure is a declaration. I will not be controlled by the impossible. I will grow through the challenge. A fear of failure thrives on what-ifs, on imagined worst-case scenarios, on hypothetical mistakes. But life is not built in hypotheticals. It is built in action and effort and in perseverance. Every failure that is allowed to happen in pursuit of a dream carries more value than years of inaction spent avoiding it. The lessons learned, the resilience gained, the strength discovered in the process, these are priceless treasures. Failure is not a stop sign. It is a guidepost pointing the way toward improvement, mastery, and eventual success. The most inspiring people in the world do not live without fear. They feel it, acknowledge it, and move forward anyway. Fear may knock at their door, but it is never invited to stay. Every time you take a bold step despite fear, you send a message to yourself. Your courage is stronger than your doubt. Your vision is bigger than your worry, and your spirit is unshakable. When you stop fearing failure, you unlock the ability to take risks, embrace growth, and create a life that exceeds the limits others try to place upon you. So the next time fear of failure knocks, greet it politely, acknowledge it, and then continue walking your path. Every setback becomes a lesson, every mistake becomes a building block, and every challenge becomes a mirror reflecting your potential. Do not let fear of failure dictate your journey. Let it challenge you, guide you, and remind you that the life you were born to live requires courage, action, and trust in the power within you. The foolish guest that is fear will eventually leave when it realizes you are committed, unstoppable, and destined to rise. Consistency is one of the most powerful forces in the universe, yet it is also one of the most underrated. We often look for sudden breakthroughs, overnight success, or miraculous changes, forgetting that greatness is rarely the result of a single heroic act. True transformation, true mastery, and true success are built one small, deliberate step at a time. Consistency turns dreams into reality, turning fleeting ideas into tangible results and aspirations into destiny. It is the quiet, repeated effort that creates the extraordinary life we imagine, even when the world cannot see the work being done behind the scenes. Consider the life of a writer. Every great author was not born with instant brilliance. They honed their craft day after day, page after page. Early mornings, late nights, rejected manuscripts, and countless revisions. These were the daily acts of consistency that eventually produced stories that captivated millions. The world celebrates the finished book. The real magic is in the small, consistent actions that no one witnessed. Writing for an hour every morning, even when inspiration was absent. Practicing structure, refining language, and trusting the process. That is how dreams transform into masterpieces. This same principle applies to every area of life. Consistency is the bridge between ambition and achievement. Even in fitness, consistency outweighs talent. A person may have natural ability, but without daily effort, without showing up, without doing the work when no one is watching, progress is temporary at best. Imagine someone running 1 mile today and skipping for the next week. Their results will be sporadic and disappointing. But the person who commits to running, practicing, and training daily, even in small increments, builds endurance, strength, and confidence. Over months and years, those small repeated steps compound into achievements that once seemed impossible. Every step taken consistently is a statement. I will honor my dreams, no matter how small the progress appears today. The consistency is equally powerful in relationships. Trust, loyalty, and respect are not earned in a single gesture or a grand declaration. They are cultivated through daily acts of care, attentiveness, and integrity. A parent who dedicates time each day to listen to their child, a friend who shows up when it matters most, a partner who consistently communicates and supports. The small, repeated actions are what build lasting bonds. It is not dramatic moments, but consistent presence and effort that create deep, meaningful connections. Similarly, in professional life, those who rise are rarely the loudest or flashiest. They are the ones who show up every day, meet deadlines, learn continuously, and go the extra mile even when no one is watching. Consistency earns respect, trust, and ultimately results. The journey of a student provides another vivid example. Dreams of academic success, scholarships, or mastery of a skill are exciting, but without consistent effort, they remain dreams. Studying for a few hours sporadically, cramming the night before exams, or skipping practice leaves knowledge fragmented. But a student who commits to daily study, revision, practice, even when the subjects are tough or progress seems slow, builds not only skill but confidence. Each day becomes a brick in the foundation of achievement. Over time, the seemingly small effort creates undeniable results, turning potential into performance and ambition into accomplishment. Consistency also strengthens character and resilience. Life will always present distractions, obstacles, and temptations to quit. The difference between those who succeed and those who give up is the ability to persevere consistently without relying on motivation alone. Motivation is fleeting, consistency is enduring. The person who practices patience, discipline, and commitment every day, even in the face of setbacks, eventually discovers that nothing can stop them. Each consistent action builds momentum, and momentum becomes unstoppable energy, propelling them closer to their destiny with every small, deliberate step. Even the smallest daily rituals, when repeated consistently, compound into monumental results. Saving a little money each day builds wealth over time. Learning a small concept or skill daily accumulates into mastery. Choosing to be kind and patient daily transforms the way others see you and the way you see the world. These are small seeds sown consistently that grow into the trees of achievement, resilience, and influence. Your destiny is not a result of luck. It is a product of deliberate, repeated effort, day after day, month after month, year after year. Consistency also has the power to silence doubt, criticism, and skepticism. Others may mock your slow progress or question your methods, but consistent action speaks louder than words ever could. The person who shows up every day, committed to improvement, gradually transforms their life into evidence of their purpose and potential. Success is not an event, it is a process, a culmination of countless daily decisions to act, to persevere, and to believe in oneself. The world cannot deny consistent results, and over time, even the doubters must acknowledge the reality of your dedication. The key is to honor the process, to stay committed to the small actions even when immediate results are invisible, and to trust that the universe rewards persistent effort. Consistency is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. It turns intention into impact, dreams into results, and ambition into legacy. Every step, every choice, every small effort compounds into outcomes that eventually surpass expectations, proving that the life you envision is not only possible, It is inevitable. So embrace consistency as your greatest ally. Commit to showing up every day, no matter how small the steps may seem. Refuse to let impatience, doubt, or external opinions derail your efforts. Understand that every consistent action brings you closer to your destiny, turning dreams into tangible reality. When you choose to act persistently, courageously, and deliberately, you are not just hoping for success, you are creating it. In the quiet, daily acts of dedication lies the extraordinary power to transform your life and prove to yourself that consistency truly turns dreams into destiny. Life has a way of testing us. Storms arrive when we least expect them. Loss, setbacks, disappointments, or moments of doubt that shake us to our core. In these times, it is easy to feel overwhelmed, to question your path, or to give in to despair. But there are two anchors that never fail: gratitude and faith. They are not passive feelings, they are active, deliberate choices that stabilize your spirit, sharpen your focus, and empower you to rise above the chaos. When you embrace gratitude and faith, you discover a strength that no challenge can dismantle, a clarity that no confusion can cloud, and a courage that no obstacle can overpower. Gratitude is the recognition of what is already present, the gifts, the lessons, the victories, big and small. It is a daily act of acknowledging the blessings that often go unnoticed. Consider a student struggling with exams, stressed by deadlines, and exhausted by constant preparation. Instead of succumbing to frustration, they pause and reflect. The opportunity to learn, the support of teachers, the chance to grow, the health to study, and the mind to understand. That small act of gratitude shifts perspective. It transforms struggle into progress, challenge into opportunity, and exhaustion into determination. Gratitude reminds us that even amidst difficulty, we are never truly powerless. We are equipped, supported, and capable of rising. Faith is the companion of gratitude, the trust in the unseen, the belief that the path you are walking has a purpose beyond immediate understanding. It is faith in your inner strength, in the divine energy that flows through you, in the knowledge that every storm has a lesson and every setback carries a seed of opportunity. Consider an aspiring artist who pours heart and soul into a project, uncertain if it will ever be appreciated or recognized. Rejection after rejection threatens to dim their spirit. Yet their faith in their talent, in the process, and in the timing of life keeps them moving forward. They continue to create, refine, and share their work, trusting that every effort counts, that every step has meaning, and that their vision will find its place in the world. In daily life, gratitude and faith act as stabilizers in subtle yet profound ways. A parent struggling to balance work and family may feel exhausted, overwhelmed, or unappreciated, but gratitude, acknowledging the small moments of connection, the latter, the trust their child places in them, and faith, believing that their sacrifices are building a foundation for the child's future, provides strength to keep going. These anchors transform the weight of responsibility into purpose, exhaustion into fulfillment, and challenges into lessons that shape character and resilience. Even in careers, these qualities are transformative. Imagine a professional facing constant pressure, criticism, or uncertainty in their work. Without gratitude and faith, stress becomes crushing, mistakes feel catastrophic, and setbacks appear as insurmountable failures. But when they anchor themselves in gratitude, they see the support of colleagues, the opportunities to learn, the achievements, even small ones, that mark progress. When they anchor themselves in faith, they trust their abilities, trust their journey, and trust that the effort they are putting forth will yield results in due time. This combination of gratitude and faith turns pressure into motivation, criticism into insight, and uncertainty into purposeful action. Gratitude also magnifies success. When we celebrate and acknowledge even small victories, we fuel our momentum. A runner who is grateful for completing each training session, no matter how small the progress, builds confidence. A student who thanks themselves for learning something new each day discovers joy in the journey. Gratitude allows us to recognize growth even when it is invisible to the outside world. It keeps us anchored in positivity, resilience, and perspective, reminding us that every step forward is meaningful. Faith, in turn, ensures that gratitude does not become complacency. Faith pushes us to continue even when outcomes are uncertain. It keeps us moving when doubt whispers, when fear looms, And when external circumstances seem insurmountable, faith is the courage to trust the process, to believe in the potential within ourselves, and to know that every effort matters, whether or not immediate results are visible. It is the quiet confidence that life and the divine energy guiding us is orchestrating a path toward growth, purpose, and achievement. Together, gratitude and faith create a powerful synergy. Gratitude anchors us in the present, helping us appreciate what we have and recognize the opportunities around us. Faith propels us into the future, giving us courage to act, hope to endure, and belief that challenges are temporary, lessons are invaluable, and success is inevitable. When life feels turbulent, these two forces stabilize the spirit, focus the mind, and ignite the heart with determination. Consider a person rebuilding their life after loss, a failed business, a broken relationship, or personal setback. Without gratitude, they may focus only on pain and scarcity. Without faith, they may lose hope for the future. But with gratitude, they see the resources they still have, the lessons learned, the love and support still surrounding them. With faith, they believe in their capacity to rebuild, to grow, and to create a life that exceeds past expectations. Each step forward, grounded in gratitude and faith, is a victory in itself, a testament to resilience, and a declaration that no storm can extinguish their light. In the end, life will always bring storms. The winds of doubt, fear, and challenge will blow, testing your courage and your spirit. But when gratitude and faith become your anchors, you are unshakable. You are steady, focused, and empowered. You can rise above criticism, overcome setbacks, and pursue your destiny with confidence. You learn to appreciate what you have while trusting in what is yet to come. You discover that true strength is not in avoiding storms, but in standing firm within them, guided by gratitude and faith. So, no matter what challenges come your way, anchor yourself in gratitude and faith. Let gratitude illuminate what is already present, and let faith guide you toward what is yet to unfold. Let them be the steady hands that hold you when the world shakes, the light that leads you through darkness, and the power that allows you to rise stronger, wiser, and unstoppable. These are the anchors that will not just carry you through the storm, they will propel you to heights you never imagined, turning challenges into triumphs, doubt into clarity, and dreams into reality.